but it's a lie.
But it's putting a sunny glow on your face.
Sun-kissed.
Oh, that's it. She's sun-kissed right now.
Not to be
I don't
confused
know
with
about
sun-kissed
that.
oranges.
You say so.
Well, that's questionable.
There we go.
Facebook's live.
We're live.
Got it.
We're live and I can hear me, so I'm good. It's 11 and we're already on.
Here. That way I know it's the current one.
My hair's curled today, so you can tell that too.
Yes.
Because I got it cut.
I was going to say, I thought it looked shorter.
It's shorter.
Yeah, it
because
looks
I
cute.
told her the layers were driving me crazy because they were too short in the back. And I said, can we just like... So it's way short in the back, but I want it to be long enough for a ponytail by summer. And so far,
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Not happening.
There's no ponytail.
I turned the volume off on the computer so it won't confuse you.
Thank you. I do get confused easily.
Easily.
Good morning.
Good
Is anyone
everybody?
here?
Yeah, we've been ignoring you. I am so sorry.
I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm waiting.
Hi, Diana, Charlie, Sandy,
Good
Diana, Joe, Connie,
Chris.
Gates.
You said Connie. I thought you said honey. I was like,
No,
do you have a honey?
Connie.
Do you have something you want to tell us?
No.
If anybody has any single men in their life,
There you go.
we've got single ladies here. Not me. I don't even know.
She's taken.
I am. I thought I saw him pull in, but I don't know
Did
what
you?
he's doing.
He'll pop in if he's here.
He's working.
That's funny.
He's always working.
somewhere.
Put pictures over on that wall too.
I
like
did.
that.
I like that you noticed.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like them.
I hung up pictures finally that I
So you're not
That
staring
I
at blank
noticed.
walls.
because it's just so blank. So
And I love
What's the
those
matter?
over there.
Why did the volume go back up?
I don't know. Turn it all the way off.
I did.
I don't know.
You started talking again.
So I won't talk the whole
Charlie,
video.
'cause I don't think she wants the single men in my life. You never know.
They make great
They make
friends,
great
Charlie.
friends,
You probably
really.
would.
Let us make that decision.
Yeah, really, Charlie.
I saw this video yesterday of a dog on a dating profile. I showed them yesterday at the shop, and it was so funny. This older black lab was looking for love, and so they were swiping through, and they found this gorgeous Doberman. So they set up a meeting time, and they had a message, and they were messaging each other, I love your ears, I love your eyes, can I sniff your butt sometimes, and this whole thing, and it was so cute. And they went to meet it, and the dog did not look like that dog, and they were like, we got catfished. It was so funny. All right. Nobody cares about that. And if you just tuned in for me saying butt sniffing, just ignore that. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook, and good morning, YouTube. If you see, the sun is out. The sun was not out last week, but the sun is out now. But it's a lie.
It's like blinding. We don't know what to do.
It's a lie. It's our consolation prize for the fact that it is currently 7 degrees outside.
Oh, it's a heat wave.
It's a heat wave. My condolences to anybody else in the northeast. What did you say? It was 1 degree at your
It was
house?
1 degree at my house this morning.
It was 3 when I left for work. So if you don't live in the northeast and it's not 7 degrees, I don't really want to hear about it. Congratulations. It's freaking
You
cold
people that
out.
live in California, don't make any comments.
No comments.
No comments.
Diana, Shelly, down in Texas. Listen,
No.
I get it, okay? You chose better than I did. 'Cause it's freaking cold out. So anyway, we're all freezing, but it's good. Let's see. So I only wrote a few notes here because I have lots of stuff to show you today. So as I always say, like, follow, and share if you want. If you follow, you'll get notifications. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you know when I am on. I do upload onto YouTube on Monday mornings, usually by 8:30. So if you're watching this on YouTube and it's Monday, hi. I hope this week is warmer than the week before. Let's see. I think I don't remember if I told you this, if it was a leftover or not, but the Facebook videos are categorized. Did I say that last week?
I believe you.
Okay,
But you
then
can
ignore
always
me.
remind everybody.
But if you are looking for something, if you go onto the page and you click on videos and you scroll down, there's little playlists. So everything is categorized. Somebody had asked me about embroidering on cork, and that is in the Janome category, I believe, and it might also be in cork. We will talk more about that as the year goes on, and I'm going to show you some embroidery that I did as well. But as we do those, I'll keep categorizing them so that it's easier for you guys to find. Because who knew that year 2 I would be still doing videos? I don't even know what video we're on
I don't know.
at this
I
point.
lost track.
I wrote it
lot.
down somewhere. It's been a lot. I think we're pushing 40
it's gotta be.
somewhere in there, so that's a lot to look through. So they're all on there in categories, and on YouTube they are in chronological order, so if you're looking for something and you know the date, you can look there. I have gotten a lot of group requests and a lot of people that have been invited by other group members. If you are inviting someone, thank you. We love to grow our little group, but remember, tell your friends they have to answer the questions. And we do give them a little bit of time. I know sometimes someone had said she thought she filled it out, but her iPad lost her answers. We don't immediately decline, but if you don't answer the 3 questions after a few, like a day or so, we do. And you can ask again, but if you're inviting your friends, make sure to remind them. Barb has something to tell me.
We now have 677 members.
677, that's awesome. And Barb says that we're doing another giveaway at 1,000.
At 1,000. I don't care what you say, we're doing it.
Do you hear this? She doesn't care what I say.
No, it's 1,000.
Well, there we go.
That's a landmark.
And if you would like to invite some of your single men to join the group, they can meet Barb and Marlene.
There you go.
Please, no.
So, Marlene's running away. So this week, unfortunately, we only got one new thing. We have so much stuff on order. I have a feeling it's all going to come at the same time just because that's how it goes. But we got new zippers, and so I posted them. And I wanted to show you guys too because I'm just so excited. So I like to refer to this as the zipper color mix-up of 2018. Somehow I ordered red and dark red. Yes, that's what I called them. It's an orange red and a blue red. I ordered them and didn't realize how close they were until they got here because I wasn't paying attention, and I thought this was going to be burgundy, and it's not. So now we officially have a nice deep dark burgundy. So this is the new wine. This is an identical match to the wine cork. I picked it out. I painstakingly went through so many different colors to make sure it was spot on. And I ordered this because we have some canvas coming in that has some beautiful burgundy colors in it, but it's not here yet. So we'll get it when we get it.
Perfect match
So
for the wine.
And so now you can see, so now we have our reds covered, we've got our pinks covered, and I bet you that's glue. I think we have some glue that just got here.
That just got here?
Yes, and we have lots of blues. We have Barb's favorite, the ocean. She loves her aqua. We have teal. This I have renamed on the website. This was formerly navy. I am calling it midnight because it's not navy, and calling it that, it does not match navy. In the future, we will get a good, nice dark navy. We don't have it right now, so I'm sorry. But that is why it's called midnight, because for anybody that doesn't know, it does not match the navy. But we added cadet, and cadet is kind of in between ocean and teal. It looks great with a lot of the blues, so I feel like we've rounded out our blues. I think we're doing good on zipper colors, and if I order any more, they're going to fire me. I will be the giveaway for 1,000 members.
There you go.
She's gonna get rid of me and all the zippers. It's fine. So we have lots of zippers, lots and lots and lots of zippers, and lots and more coming. No, I'm just kidding. We don't. What?
Well, it's fine up there, but it says, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out what happens in a minute. Is it still?
Yeah.
Can you check on your phone? I'm gonna keep on talking anyway. So let's see here. What else did I want to tell you? I wanna just talk about some hardware. I don't know if we just had a glitch on our laptop or if it was on your end. Ignore it if it's on your end, and hopefully it was just our laptop. I just want to talk to you a little bit about hardware. I've gotten a lot of emails over the past few months, different questions about, will you carry this item? Can you get this item? Different questions like that. And I just want to kind of chat about that. I think I mentioned this a while ago. I am always open to suggestions, so if you are looking for something in particular, email me. let me know, because the more that we get asked for something, the more likely that we are to order it in the future. That's why we have rivets. That's why we have, certain like D-rings. We got asked for D-rings a ton when I was traveling. My audience has changed. I don't go to people anymore. I ask you to come to me. So, we have a different customer base now than we did before. And because of everything changing, I can't order continually. I can't get everything. I would love to have everything, but we don't have the space, and I am not a wealthy person. So, we can only do so much. But if there's something you want, just ask, and just know that it always goes into the, maybe list. I don't ignore anybody. I always keep that in the back of my mind. There are certain things and certain finishes that we're just not going to have. Sometimes we know what sells, we know what moves. Certain things are not going to sell for us. Maybe you want a couple, but I know that it's not a big seller. Certain finishes don't move for us. Some of them go in waves where there'll be more, they'll sell more than others. Certain ones don't sell as much. So we're kind of cautious about that. Plus, we really don't have any room. So we have to be really ready for something if we're going to bring it in. And lately, everything we brought in 6 finishes. So that's a minimal of 6 things that we're bringing in. And whatever you want, on my end, I have to order, depending on where I order from, minimally 1,000 pieces. It all depends on what it is. It might be a bolt of fabric, it might be 1,000 pieces of hardware, it might be an entire roll of cork. Whatever it is, I have to be prepared for it, and I have to know that it's a good decision. And yeah, I make bad decisions still. Barb and Marlene laugh at some of the things that I bring in. I've gotten better. You gotta try stuff. But ask me if there's something you're looking for. Send me an email, and if I can do it, I will let you know. And if I can't, then I apologize. But if I know somewhere you can get it, I'll tell you. So I think that was everything, because I have nothing to show you. Yeah, we have nothing else came in. Somebody did ask me about Decoville this morning, and I also had an email last week, and the update on Decoville is I have no idea. They still don't have a ship date. We asked yesterday when I was at Log Cabin. We had a little chat with the distributor, and they said the last date they had was for December, which is last month, and we still don't know. So Decoville is on order, and hopefully it gets here at some point. I have no idea. We have 10 bolts of it on order, so when we get it, we'll be stocked for a while, maybe. I'm gonna take a sip, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about some more basic stuff with our bags. I told you I kind of wanted to get into some of like the basic things, some terminology. We're gonna talk about box corners versus darts versus gussets. And I have some samples here that I want to show you. Before I show you that, Barb has a question, and then I want to show you what I've been working on.
Janae would like to know how big a roll of cork is.
A roll of cork,
very big and heavy.
A roll of cork is almost as tall as me. I'm 5'6". It's taller than they are. It weighs about 90 to 100 pounds, and it is about 84 meters of cork. And meter is 39 inches, so times 84, it's that many inches. And it can vary in,
like 85 yards.
It can vary in how many colors and prints are in it. So we get in sometimes a box, sometimes we get 3. One time we got 10. That was insane to try to cut. And then we cut everything ourselves. Hi.
Hi.
My husband's here.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Are you joining us?
I'm joining you.
Oh,
Yay.
hi.
Hi, Eric.
I just want to start out by saying I can get an alternator and have an alternative.
There you go.
Okay.
We have an alternative job
Alternative
here
job.
with an alternator.
We got starters on sale today.
Would you get
I'm going to start my way out.
dad jokes here? Anybody? Before I show you what I've been working
Sandy
on.
says hi, Eric.
Oh, hi.
Hi. You don't have to say hi to him. I mean, whatever. There was a lady on YouTube. I don't know where we found her, but this lady on YouTube, she was really funny. She left a comment on the tutorial for the laptop case. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. She goes, "Thank you so much for getting right to the point. I love your tutorials." And I wrote back and and I said, obviously you don't watch Facebook Fridays because we don't make a point ever. We can't get to it. But she said, I love that you just get rid of all the chit chat, go right to the point. And I was like, I know what videos you watch of mine and which ones you don't. But it was just very funny. So I think her name was Jill. If you watch any of these, this is what I was talking about.
I think your husband is adorable.
Oh, isn't he? He is cute. I like
He's
him.
on his best behavior when he comes in here.
Because he knows that this is live and that I will be very upset if he does anything stupid.
But he is cute.
He is adorable. He's very good to us. So,
Yep.
all right. So I didn't want to show you guys this because it's not done, but I showed my husband last night and he said, no, show them, tease them. Because that's his train of thought. Barb and Marlene saw part of this, but they didn't see the rest of it. This is what you helped me pick out cork for.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I am making a Liana bag. I'm working my way into it. It's for a future topic, but I'm going to show you what I was doing. So I'm going to show you, this was the dud piece first. Okay,
This
so
will segue right into this question.
do you want to ask me the question now?
Well, because it's about the Liana bag.
Ask me.
Kind of. She said, Cindy said, since you're talking cork, how durable is the cork? I just made the Liana bag, and I was wondering if I need to be extra careful and not overload my bag.
Absolutely not. Overloading your bag is only bad for your shoulders. You can absolutely use that bag, put whatever you want in it. If you've ever picked up my purse, you know that it weighs about 100 pounds. I don't even know what's in there, though. Honestly, I don't know what's in my bag. I don't know. There's a lot of lipsticks, but I don't know why it's so heavy.
Half of the Foresters in there.
But it's very, very heavy. No, cork is super durable. Cork is going to give you a lot longer lifetime than fabric is going to, which everything's going to wear out. It's not indestructible. I just want to say that. I did have somebody once at a show tell me that I lied to her, and I was like, it's not titanium. It is going to wear out. It's just going to wear out slower and not as noticeable, I think, as fabric. So I do have a Liana here. So for instance, on the Liana, your corners and your handles on any bag are where they're going to wear and tear the most. If this was fabric and this was fabric, you start to see that wear and tear. It starts to fray. It starts to get kind of soft. Sometimes, the threads don't look as good because the fabric just can't withstand for as long. The cork is going to give you so much longer of a lifespan. That's why I like it on the handles and the bottom, because I don't know about you guys, I don't know about you, I'm not careful with my bag. I don't set it down nicely. I throw it on the floor. It's on the car. It's everywhere. And my husband's a mechanic, if you didn't pick up on that. And he's dirty. And he touches my bags. And at least I can clean the cork a little bit easier than I can the fabric. So absolutely, Cindy, use that bag, load it up, don't hurt yourself, but you're going to get a lot more lifetime out of it, especially because you used it on the high wear areas. So I hope that answers that.
There's a few people that have confirmed they've used it for a year and still looks brand new.
And it depends on you, because my mom can destroy a bag faster than anyone I know. That woman I don't know what she does to her purses. But even her bags look better now than they did when I used to make them out of just cotton. Cotton bags, I would be embarrassed. I'm like, Mom, that bag looks terrible. We got to get you a new one. Maybe she does it on purpose to get new bags. I don't know. So this is the end result of what I'm going to show you. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping it does this weekend. So I showed you guys a little teaser of a couple of these things. I got an idea in my head, and I was like, I just need to see if it works. I got to try it out, because I do that for you. I like to, play around. I didn't love the end result, but I liked where it was going. I was on to something. So this is canvas, because remember, we're getting plain canvas in someday. So I started embroidering some cork, and it's probably hard to see because it's really close in color. There's not a lot of contrast. It was just scraps I had at home. But could I embroider a piece of cork and cut around it like I would an applique? The cork doesn't fray, so I can do something kind of cool. So I liked where this was going. It just wasn't super exciting because it was kind of plain. And I thought, you know what? I like it, but I was like, I'm almost there, but I gotta go. I need to tweak it a little bit.
It's too matchy-matchy.
It's too matchy-matchy. Plus, this design, which is probably not gonna pick up for you guys, but it's a rose that has like little swirls. It wasn't as easy to cut around because it just it didn't pop as much, and you can't really see the shape from a distance. It just looks like a blob. Plus, what I did is I embroidered it on the canvas and then cut around the cork. you could do it. It worked, but some of my areas here aren't as clean because you got to really fold it and get in there. So I was like, okay, I'm getting somewhere. I gotta play with this. So I showed my mom, and she said, yeah, you know, it's all right. So I was like, I think I need more contrast. So now you have to wait. I'm going to show you this first. I teased you with this, and then Barb and Marlene got to see this when it was all done. This is what I was doing a few weeks ago. I downloaded all of these roses from Embroidery Online. I think the file was called Grandma's Roses. I bought the whole file. It was like 12 of them. And I used tons of Aurifil thread, all different colors, playing around. Some things that you wouldn't even imagine were layered on top, and you got these really cool colors. And then I used the stitches in my machine to go in between and add a little extra. So I made my own piece of fabric. And if you notice, like on here, there's a line. I traced the outline of my Liana bag so I knew where it was gonna land. I didn't want to cut everything off. Like this one got cut off and these got cut off a little, but I didn't want to do embroidery out here and then get rid of it and throw it in the garbage. So I traced it out so I would know where everything was gonna go. And then I was watching a Janome video a couple weeks ago with Heidi Profferty, and she makes these really cool designs from her stitches. So she embroiders like a full design, but it's not done on the embroidery part. It's done all with the decorative stitches. If you're interested, go to the Janome sewing machines page and you'll see the video there. Such a cool idea. And I was like, well, that's fun. I want to play with my stitches now. And this is all 28 weight that I use and kind of just played around. I didn't care. You know, there's certain things I like better than others. I just kind of started throwing them in there. And I wanted it to just be bright and crazy.
So that's the bag you're making for me, right?
Right. Absolutely.
You all heard it.
So none of your color in it.
That's fine.
Well, there's
I
aqua
love
right there.
There's aqua. I love salmon.
So this is the one that Barb and Marlene helped me pick out the salmon cork for, which is not their favorite, and rose gold hardware. I'm going to use the strap keepers and ends so I don't lose too much. We picked out so many different colors that look good, and this was the one that all three of us said, that's the one. So after doing this, I'm like, I don't want to embroider the entire back because this took me almost a solid week because these embroidery designs, I think were like 45 minutes to an hour each. And there was like 17 thread changes on each of them. It was crazy. So I don't want to do that again. And
Can
I want
you bring that in a little closer
Yeah.
so they can get a closer shot of it?
How does that look?
Well, I can't. It's delayed here.
We're on a delay.
There, it looks good.
Is that good? So on the front, or I mean, it doesn't even matter. It can be the back.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
looks good.
did that, and then I took my my bottom piece, my accent, and I just put it over it, and I covered up some of the design because that's okay. If that was a fabric, that's what would happen. So I started thinking, I want to do something cool on the back, but something totally different. So that's when I started playing with that idea, and this is what I came up with, and I loved it. I'm so excited. If you don't like this, don't be mean. I love it. So.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
that's pretty.
So
That one's
this
for Marlene, isn't it?
is the back.
It's the back.
It's
the
the
same
whole,
bag
because I got
angle.
roses
That's the
on
rest
the
of my
front,
bag.
leaves on the back, but
I have witnesses too that that's for me.
no. What I
That
thought,
is cool.
there's something about the bottom accent of a bag that I feel like is like sacred territory. Like, don't put anything on it. And I don't know why, but it's just one of those things. And I thought, I've never put stuff over the accent. So I did. And
I like
love
the way it falls
I
across
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
And I use variegated thread to use. This is one of the built-in stitches. Now these I embroidered by themselves, cut them out, and then put them back on and just stitched around them. Much easier that way. But I
Yeah.
wanted to see how it came out.
Yeah.
Plus it's easier to then figure out my design. And then this leaf right here, these embroidered ones, that's the same design that's embroidered on the cork, but I added that in for some dimension. So
I think you got a winner.
this, I want this done this weekend. That's my goal. I want to get it done.
Me too. I want it next week.
And
so
I
can
have
use
something
it.
else that I'm working on. Barb's not getting it. Don't encourage her. Don't do it. I'll block all of you.
They all
So
plan to be a witness.
we'll see. But I have another topic planned, and I'm trying to plan ahead. So this will be part of it, and I'm not going to tell you anything else. That's it. So I'm going to move all this stuff, and now that's what I've been doing. I don't know about you guys. Here's a question for you two as well, and everybody.
Uh-oh.
I hate the winter. That's not a question. I hate it. Blech. I hate being cold, and I hate that it's dark out all the time.
Yes.
I start work at 7 a.m. It is dark when I leave. Sometimes it's dark when I come home. Sometimes it's dark during the day. I feel so blah and uninspired in the wintertime, and I know some people that thrive because they're outdoorsy people, and they're like, but I don't want to go outside. I can't get stuff done. I cannot get stuff done.
You like to be outside.
Do you guys, are you more productive in the winter? Are you more productive in the winter? I am not. It's terrible. I go home and I want to get under the blankets and just watch TV with the dogs.
No, not so much. I quilt all day long.
You do. But you also quilt for your business.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
I mean, there are days that I just don't feel like doing it.
It's
and I don't.
awful. It's
But-
awful. In the summertime, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's light out till 8 o'clock. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, let's sew.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So, I don't know.
But
Do you
I
have...
need snowshoes?
I do.
And
Maybe
cross-country
that is my
skis.
problem. Maybe that is my issue, is that the winter doesn't mean anything exciting for me. I'm not like, oh, I get to go skiing or snowshoeing. I don't want to go outside.
Well, my
so,
daughter wants me to go cross country skiing tomorrow. I said, no way.
oh,
No.
no.
Hell
Do not go
no
outside
way.
tomorrow. So,
You go and have a good time.
let me know. And if you have some great tip that makes you more productive in the winter, do I need one of those like plant lamps, like for
Maybe.
lizards? That they
Maybe that's why I
That's
say,
it,
because I
me.
have that big overhead light over the lawn
I
arm,
don't know.
so it brightens everything.
And then it gets
I
dark in
don't
here
know.
and it's called blah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
And
I hate
cold
winter.
and dreary.
I hate
That's
it.
it.
too.
Have a nice day. Okay, so so let's talk
Oh, Patty
about.
loves to sew bindings in the winter. Maybe we can count her into sewing all
Oh,
her bindings for us.
perfect! Give me your address, Ron.
She's
Send them your way.
local.
So, and I don't sew bindings on because I don't make quilts anymore. It just doesn't happen. I try, but it doesn't happen very much. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today, this is going to appeal to my beginners who want to learn some terminology, and also to my my creatives that want to kind of make patterns their own and make their own bags. I know there's some of you out there that you're here, you like my patterns, but you also like to mix things up and, make a pattern your own. And sometimes you look at a bag like me and you think, I want to make that myself. Maybe it's a bag in a store and you're like, I want to go home and make that. So when it comes to the bottom of a bag, Barb and Marlene are both laughing and shaking their heads. No,
Not happening in my life.
that's why they're here. That's why I got started, because I wanted to make all the things. So sometimes terminology in bags can be weird, just like we talked about last week. Bags in general are just weird. But also, sometimes if you're kind of playing with something, or you want to make something, or even if you're wondering, why did I, the designer, do something a certain way instead of another way, there's usually a reason for it. So when it comes to the bottom of your bag, this is just a Lola here. The bottom of the bag, the base part of it, how do I decide? What is it called? How does this happen as far as the base? So there's 3 different ways that I finish my bags, and you guys know this depending, on how many of my bags you've done. And obviously there's other ways, other designers do things different ways, and again, I'm not picking on anybody. We all do things our own way. I do things one of 3 ways. I either box my corners, which is going to be this here, and it's called boxing the corner because you are making it into like a box, a square corner. This is what the bottom of your boxes look like when you get them in the mail. So that is probably, I would say 75% of my bag patterns have box corners. There's reasons, and I'm going to get into a little bit about that and why I choose that so often. The past couple of years, I've been doing more with darts. Darts are more of a seamstress technique. I can remember I made a formal dress once. I don't think I ever finished the straps very well, but it made it through the dance, and it had darts. They're usually right up in the top area, the booby area. But I use them in bags sometimes too. And so this is the EV messenger bag, and this has a dart in it. Is it technically the same dart that's in clothing? No, but it looks the same, so that's why I call it a dart. And you can see the difference there between your box corner and your dart. And the third way is a gusset. And I brought this bag over on purpose because I also have one other funny thing to tell you. So this is a gusset, which is this piece right here. That's how you get the depth of your bag. Do you guys remember this fabric? Do you remember we had it and then we couldn't get it and it was gone? And I think I told you last week they're reprinting it. We're going to get it in the summer. Guess what?
It's coming.
We're getting a bolt of it next week. Because I have no idea why. But I got an email last night that said order date June of 2020. 7 months ago. Oh, it's ready to ship now. So we're getting this fabric in again. It probably won't last long because people have been wanting it. And then we have more coming in the summer. But that has nothing to do with this. Yes, Barb has a question.
Can I interject a question about embroidery again?
Yeah.
Yvonne would like to know the name of the lady that does the embroidery on the Genome video space. And is that Facebook or is it YouTube? You know?
The woman that I just referred to, her name is Heidi Profferty, Profferty.
Yeah.
She does the machine stitches that look like embroidery, and I watch it on, because Genome does live videos every week. It was either the Facebook page, which is Genome Sewing Machines, or it was their group, which is an open public group. You can access it even if you're not a member, which is Genome Sewing Classroom. It's all linked on that same page. And if I can find it, if I remember when we're done, I'll try to link it so you can see, because I wanted to show her what I did with her inspiration too. What she did, that is nothing compared to what she did. She was showing, you know, here's a building, here's a basket of flowers, and she was making, it was just cool. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, I know you have a million stitches on your machine that you probably never use. She shows you all these cool ways of doing it. It was actually very, very, very inspiring. So I will try to link that for you later. But it's either the Facebook page or the group on Genome. So let's go backwards. Let's talk about boxing corners, okay? So I have a couple of bags here. This is, again, the Lola. I have the box corners on this. Here we have one of the trios. This one has box corners. And even these projects, this is the free boxy bag that you can find on YouTube, linked in the tutorials page. And this was from the magazine, the little train case. These also use box corners. So the reason that most of the time I do box corners, first, it was the first technique I ever learned with doing a bag. It was the first bag I ever made had box corners. And also, as a designer, it's actually very easy for me to get it exactly the way that I want it, because I know that whatever I cut my corners out as, my depth is exactly double that. I don't know why the math works that way, but between cutting and seam allowances and everything, these corners are cut an inch, it's 2 inches deep. So it's a very easy, it's easy math when you're doing it that way. The tourist tote bag is 3.5 inch corners, it's 7 across the bottom. So it's an easy way for me to know what I want. Obviously, when you're doing a box corner, you lose the height and you lose some of the width of your bag from the piece that you cut. So for instance, just to kind of give you a little insight into that, Lola is cut 12 by 10.5. Lola finishes 10 by 8.5. So she lost 2 inches in width and depth because of the corners.
Lola.
Poor Lola. So these are things that I have to keep in mind when it comes to yardage and it comes to cork pieces. I will tell you, back in the beginning, back when I first started designing patterns, I didn't really give as much thought to that because I didn't know. I would just say, well, I guess it's 1/3 of a yard, 1/4 of a yard, 1/2 a yard. Now that we sell specialty fabrics, I really put a lot of thought into that, which is why some of the bags get different treatments, because I have to fit in to what we have to offer. So I do a lot of,
the boss.
because I'm the boss. So
Sometimes.
in box corners, and I'm going to show you the way that I learned originally. With box corners, this is how my pieces always look. So you always have these little squares cut out. Most of the time they're squares, sometimes they're not. Like in Liana, they're a little bit different. Not going to get deep into that, but they're still square-ish. So whatever I cut this out as, this right here is 1 inch, this bag would be 2 inches deep when it was done. When I have my bag ready to go, so that was just one piece. I have my pieces sewn right sides together, so I've stitched here, I've stitched the bottom, I've stitched here. This one I didn't cut the corner because I'm going to show you something here. When it's time to box this corner, this is why I like doing it this way. I just put my fingers in here, straighten it out, I line up those two seams, and I do nest my seams so they go in the opposite direction, and now it's ready to sew. Box corners are very forgiving. You want them as straight as you can. You want this seam to not look like that. You want it to be nice and straight. But if it does kind of have a little point to it, because sometimes it's thick and it's hard to get in your machine or things shift, you really don't notice. That's why I like box corners, especially when you're a beginner, because they're very, very forgiving. That is not the first way that I learned though. I learned to do a box corner without cutting them out. And I don't like this technique only because me personally, they never come out even. You might be a professional at doing this. I am not. I'm assuming you guys have never done this because Barb's giving me the weird eyebrow look.
No.
So
No.
basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna get the same outcome,
Yeah.
but you don't have anything to line up. You pinch it and you have to kind of work it this way.
Ew.
It's not as easy with your seam, and you have to get this triangle. And then you have to measure. You have to measure, the pattern will usually give you a measurement. So from this point to this line, I drew my corner in anyway, that's an inch. It's gonna give me the same outcome on this side, but I can never get these to line up and look good. So I'm still gonna sew across, but then I have to trim and I have to kind of fuss. And you know that sometimes when bags are thick, the fussing part is the most annoying part because you can't get your hands in there. All I know is that with this, when it's already cut, I just have to put those two seams together and keep it as straight as I can. With this, not exactly the same.
Somebody said they used to do it that way until they saw your technique.
And a lot of pattern designers still do it this way. A lot of tutorials have it this way. There is nothing wrong with doing it that way. If you are successful with it, then you're better than I am, because every time I have done one this way, one corner is off, the bag's a little crooked. It's stuff that I'm gonna notice more than anyone else is gonna notice, but it drives me bonkers. So that was the way that I first learned, and then I decided I didn't like that, so I do it this way. So box corners are very easy. It's kind of my go-to. I use that for everything. So let's talk about darts, because darts to me are also very easy to work with. And the reason I started doing those, the first bag I did it in was the Emily. This one right here. I don't know if Sue Smith is watching, but this is her favorite bag to make. So the reason I did it on this one is because I was playing around with sizes and fabric, and I realized that to get some depth on the bag, if I cut corners out, it was gonna mess things up a little bit. But how do I make this so it's not flat? Flat is fine for, you know, like a wristlet to not have any depth. I needed something on here, and I thought, well, I remembered making darts a long time ago, but I never tried it in a bag. Let's see what happens. So the one thing with darts, they're also very forgiving. If your darts are not even, it's very hard to notice, but they don't stand up on their own. Because the bottom of the bag kind of points, unless you have something in the bag that flattens it out, they don't want to stand up on their own. Box corner bags will stand up. So when you see the darts, let me see here. I have lots of samples. Okay, so here's a little corner template that would be in one of your patterns. And so I'm rounding my corners and cutting my little V out because I need to sew that together. So this is what one of my pieces looks like. Obviously these darts would be huge on this bag, but it was just a little scrap that I had. So I have my little V cut out. And this is where it gets a little confusing if you haven't done this. You're always going to be folding right sides together, and you're going to put your clip or your pin, and you're just sewing across here. But when you sew across there, you actually extend pretty far past where you cut, and sometimes that looks wrong, but it's not. This again falls into the bags are weird category. You just sew your 1/4 of an inch right into there on both sides, and that's how you get that to kind of puff out like that. So now I can add some depth to my bag without taking away a lot of the fabric. And I like the rounded bottom to it. It's going to look very different than your box corner. You get that rounded edge versus a squared edge. So it kind of just depends on what you're making and what you want it to look like. So I use those fairly often. I've used them, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 patterns. I know Emily has it, Evie, Alice has it, and Tabitha, I think. I think those 4 are it. But that's a nice little alternative if you're playing around and you're making a little something and you don't want to cut the box corners, you want it to kind of be softer and have that scooped edge, you can do something like that. And so that is, for me, what I call darts. Somebody else that makes clothing would probably say that's not a dart, and you're right, it's not, but it's my version of a dart. So these little templates here, oh, I actually have a little tip here too. When you take your template and you put your template on, here, let me grab a square, on your square piece, okay, what I do is I try to, and I eyeball this, I try to get this as straight 90-degree there. Does that make sense? So it's not, tipped. I cut just this corner, just one, to make sure that that's as even as I can get it over here. I then take that corner and I fold it, and then I cut and trace the other one, or trace and cut, obviously. It doesn't matter if they're not perfect, but when it comes to templates, I try to get them as even as possible. And so even if I've made a little minor mistake, at least I'm making it on the other side so it'll balance out. And I gave that tip in the Liana video. I use one piece, make a template, take that, cut all the rest of them out. That way I'm not having to measure over and over, and I don't have to worry about templates. And sometimes you cut through a template or you lose a template. I lose templates all the time. That's why I keep printing them. I don't even know where this one came from, but we'll see if it makes its way home. So that's a little tip for you with a template. And now,
Somebody has a cork question.
a cork question, yes. Throw it at me.
Okay. Katie wants to know, can you use a skiver to thin the edges like leather to minimize the thickness, or does that affect the integrity of the cork?
Katie, I don't know. I have never done anything like that. I would say that in doing that on leather, it's usually because the leather is so much thicker that it kind of makes more sense. I don't know if you would want to do that on the cork. It could affect the integrity of it. I'm not 100% sure, but our cork is so thin and pliable that I don't think you'd want to do that, or you would need to do that. It's something I would just have to kind of experiment with to know, and I don't own one of those tools. I know what it looks like. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have not tried that. So unfortunately, I am not the one to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Katie, try it and let us know.
I don't think that you would want to. No. I don't think you would need to. I've seen people do that on that thick piece of,
on the back?
Well, it is fabric on the back where leather is part of the hide. So I don't know if it would even be as effective as you would want it to be. So I don't have a solid answer, but if I had to, I would say I wouldn't do it. I hope that helps. It probably doesn't, but I'm trying here. All right, so let me move these. And let's talk about the last, depth treatment, which is going to be a gusset. And I grabbed this one. I thought I grabbed
while you're
another.
looking.
Yeah.
Is all your cork the same thickness?
Yes. Yep, all the cork is the same thickness. We only order one style. We only order the thickest that they offer, which is, Eric measured it. I forget how thick it is.
Some feels a little different, but it's not thinner.
Sometimes it feels different because of the color and treatment. The pearls usually feel a little bit stiffer. The naturals always feel softer because they don't have any dyes added to it. So it kind of depends, but they are all the same thickness.
That bag's the Liana, right?
This one, yes.
The one with the blue cork is the Liana.
Liana. This bag was missing for a while because
Is that the one
that's
that
the
was
one?
missing?
I didn't know where I put it. I even asked my mom if I left it at her house, which why would I do that? And I asked Eric if it was in his truck, which it wasn't. I hid it from myself, but I found it. Surprise! So I do dumb things sometimes. We all do. So the last bottom style that I use is a gusset. So when I'm saying gusset, this is me, I mean anything that's on the side. So it's attached to the side. So this is a separate piece. It goes all the way around the bottom and all the way up. This one, nope, I did not. I thought I pieced it. You can piece it if you have a directional fabric. I did not because it didn't bother me. But the gusset is something that I use on the Abbey, on the Harper, I can't think, Adeline. The reason that I will use that style, there's a couple reasons. Depending on what I'm doing with the bag, if I have a pocket on the side like I do on Harper, or if I am doing something, depends, like if there's a certain yardage and I don't want to affect the front, I don't want to take away from the size. By adding the gusset, this doesn't change. I only lose my seam allowance. I can add all the depth here. I don't have to cut anything. I don't have to, make it shorter. If I've gotten the piece exactly the way that I want it, by adding a gusset, that's how I can get my depth. Now, I do use the word gusset in the Liana bag as well, because gusset can be one of two things. Inside this bag, this is the gusset. So again, it's a side treatment, but what this is doing is it's not adding any depth, it's preventing the bag from opening too far. If I didn't have that there with the zipper all the way down to the bottom, the bag would open all the way up and everything would fall out. So in the Liana, this is your gusset, and on something like the Abby, this is the gusset. The gusset creates depth. The gusset on the Liana kind of prevents too much depth, so it's not open too far.
What's the name of that bag again?
Abby.
The one with the cornflowers?
Abby Sling.
That's the Abby. Yep. Okay.
And that fabric is coming.
She needs it.
Which is just so funny to me.
It's like the
Seriously,
third
I
person
ordered
that
it in
needs it.
June. I actually laughed out loud when I got the notification yesterday because I thought, well, they're going to reprint it. It'll be, I think it's either May or August. We'll get it in the summertime. And now I'm getting a bolt early from the first printing. Life doesn't make sense anymore. Just go with it. So that will be here sometime next week. So when it comes to a gusset, I wanted to show you a little trick I have. And I explain this in the pattern, but sometimes it does help when you can see it up close too. Your gusset always seems way too long. This is for a little mini Harper bag, which is over my shoulder. It's over that way. When you look at the size of this piece and you look at the size of this piece, it doesn't seem possible that this is going to fit on there. But remember, there's a lot of surface that we have to cover to get that depth. So one thing that I always do is I mark my center on the interfacing on the bottom, and I mark the center on both sides of the gusset. And when I'm pinning, I'll show you a couple tricks here. Come on, I had a Band-Aid on, I can't do anything. Okay, so I line up the center marks like this, right sides together, and then I ignore everything else and I come up to the top and I line up those edges. I drop that pin. And then I do the same thing over here. And then what I do is I start to work in slowly the corners. I'll do these straight edges first because those are easy to line up, but I save these rounded corners for the end because you see how that doesn't look like it's gonna fit? It will if you take your time and kind of work that around. When this is ready to sew, there's a ton of pins here, tons, because I want to keep it perfect. But one of the good things about gussets is, and I used it on this bag too, this is the Getaway bag. This thing is huge. This gusset is like 9 inches across the bottom. It's really, really wide. One of the great things about this style, when you have this rounded corner, if you're not perfect, nobody knows because it looks like it was on purpose. So if you get little wrinkles, little puckers in the corner, 9 times out of 10, they go away when you turn the bag and you press. But if they don't, it looks intentional. It looks okay to have little wrinkles and puckers where you don't want that on this. You wouldn't want to have little puckers down here. It would look sloppy. You can get away with it when you have that curved edge. And some of my bags look like that. Some of my linings are atrocious. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm usually so excited to finish the bag that I get it done and one corner is kind of, but I just go with it anyway. So those are the different terms that I use and the different kind of treatments for making the depth on your bag. Box corners I use a lot. Gussets will stand up. The darts will not stand up on their own. And I don't, if I'm doing darts and it has a flap, I don't put darts in the flap. I don't need depth in the flap because it needs to be flat anyway. So your outside and lining are the only ones that have darts. So, do we have any other questions? Kind of a little run through of terminology
Not that-
today.
No?
No?
That you can answer after.
All right.
No.
Good? That's it?
Yeah. Just
Nice.
do me a favor. The fabric on the blue cork bag.
This one.
What's the name of that one? I told her we have it, but I don't remember.
This
the name of it.
canvas is
Yeah.
the peonies. Peonies.
Okay.
It's one of the canvases. It's the only one that looks like this, so you'll find it no problem. And this is the blue pearl cork. This is a kit, so if you want to see the specific things we used, for even if you're doing it for another bag, if you go to the kits page, it'll tell you, like we used a chocolate zipper, the blue pearl cork. It's all spelled out there, so if you see something and you're not sure, you can always go there. We kit a ton of bags, and so even if you don't want that kit for that bag, you might get some inspiration for something you want to put together. I also use this. Could you grab me that, Harper? I also used this fabric. I specifically wanted a different cork because this one I use the copper penny. Yes. So you can see, looks totally different. I use rose gold hardware on both because I loved the rose gold with this peachy pink, but totally different. And either of these bags would look nice in the opposite color too. So, and if you have questions on, oh, don't worry about it. If you have questions on matching cork to any of the, canvases, look on the kits page because we've done a lot with canvas, but otherwise, send me an email. And please try not to message me on Facebook. I don't always get the notifications, and I go to bed really early because I'm 85 years old. I can't help
But
it.
she does text you very early, like at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I wake up pretty early. I wake up usually around 4. You're lucky I don't text you as soon as I wake up.
Yeah.
But if you message me on Facebook, it's hard for me to follow sometimes. And if it's something that needs to be done, like something with shipping or whatever, Barb and Marlene can't access that. So then I have to, it's a whole process. Just email me, please. Yes.
A few questions.
Yeah.
Any estimate on the neutral canvas coming?
Oh, guys, you want to hear this one? So I ordered it in, what did we order? December, maybe? I don't even know.
Yeah, probably.
All the days are the same now. We ordered it, and I have gotten 3 different ship dates, and they all keep moving forward and moving forward and moving forward. And so far, it's supposed to be shipping by the end of next week. Will it? I have no idea. Unfortunately, we have no control over the companies, and they're just kind of waiting, and we're waiting. So as soon as it's here, it will be on the website, and I will let you guys know. But as of right now, I'm hoping this is the final ship date, and it will actually start shipping to us in February. We have so much stuff coming. Well, on order. It's not coming, but it's on order. Yes.
Next, Pam would like to know, are your fabrics still for sale? I can answer that, yes.
Yes. Yes.
She couldn't figure out how to do it and have succeeded in the past. It's right on the website.
It's on the bottom. It's like way down towards the bottom. We don't do bundles anymore because some of the stock is really low, but everything for Juniper and Gypsy are down towards the bottom. I will double check, but I don't remember taking it off because we do still have yardage, so I will double check. Actually, am I a liar? Did we take Gypsy off because we were really low? I will double check.
Possible.
It
I don't
is
remember.
possible. I don't know anything. It's possible that that Gypsy is not available anymore because we were getting super, super low.
We're going to see if Marlene can look.
Marlene's
going
gonna look real quick because I don't want to completely run out of fabrics that I designed. I like to keep a little stock. So
We use it for eye candy.
yes.
Next, let's see. Where did it go? Do you recommend different zippers for recess zippers versus the ones you use with the top of the bag?
It says my phone's not connected to it.
Nope. I use the same zippers for everything. Oh, hold on. I think I just got a notification. Oh, yeah, that wasn't fun.
There it is.
I thought I
Am I
just got a notification on Canvas.
Fabric.
The zippers that we sell are plastic. They're by the yard. I use them for everything. I used to use a lot of this style zipper, and I have used this. This is a thinner, what do you call these? Like Atkins makes them, or Coates and Clark,
They're
the little
regular
thinner plastic zippers. I have used those for recess zippers a ton. I've used Biani zippers a ton, but I use our by the yard zippers for everything. And even like Lola's pretty small, and I use that for the recess zipper in here too. So I use our zippers for everything because we carry them, and because if I don't use them, Barb and Marlene will make me throw them out. So
Yep.
I'm seeing pictures of them.
Yeah, but not.
But not.
we might
can't
have
order it.
taken it down. Okay.
Yep.
So Pam, it's not you, it's me.
just
Okay.
all the pictures.
Is
Yeah.
Juniper or
No.
okay?
No.
I did take them off. That I know we were getting low on yardage, so that's probably why. But if there's something you're looking for, you can always email me. Katie and I had a conversation this morning about something that we're out of stock, but we do have a couple pieces, kind of hanging out. If there's something you want, just send me an email and ask me, and if I can get it for you or if I have it tucked away, I'm happy to help you out. If you don't ask, I don't know. We take certain things off the website when they're low because I don't like disappointing anybody. And if we end up with 2 yards left and we sell 4, I don't want to have to tell people they can't have it. So just email me if you're looking for something.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. I think that is it. It is 9 degrees now.
Oh my God, it's a heat
It's
wave.
9 degrees.
It's almost noon.
It's all, yes, it's not going to get much better than this. And the weekend is going to be miserable.
And we're supposed to have wind chills of what? 10 below,
Below
20
zero.
below.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But anyway, yes, I still choose to live here. I know. So that is it. I don't have anything else to say. Oh, we have another question though. Yes.
What's your email address?
Jessica at SEW many MANY creations with an S ny.com. Jessica at SoManyCreationsNY.com. It is on the website as well. If you email me through the contact form, you can attach a picture, but if you just send me an email, then you can send me a picture if you're looking for something. So I think that's going to do it.
I think that's
If you have any other questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Leave a comment. Don't tell me how warm it is where you are, but I hope you're enjoying the weather. Be nice to each other. Be kind in the group, and I'll see you next Friday.
And stay warm.
And stay warm.